Welcome again to the forum for the next president of Fullerton College. I'm going to repeat myself again, so when you take the test, the midterm, you will know everything by heart. First of all, again, for those of you who just arrived here, turn off your cell phones, please. The Board of Trustees is very interested in your opinions about the candidates. That's why we have a link where you will be able, an online link that you will be able to access, and you will be able to post your comments regarding the candidates. Those links are either in the Fullerton College website or in the North Orange County Community College District website. The only warning is you have to post your comments before 5 p.m. today in order for your comments to be considered by the Board of Trustees. So, but please, it's very important that you provide your feedback to them. The format of this forum the candidates are going to spend 5 minutes introducing themselves and making some statements. Then they will have 2 questions that they haven't seen yet. Then there will be time for you to ask direct questions to the candidates. And finally, they will have time to make a final statement. We are really happy to have our third candidate here today, Dr. Greg Schulz. So please let me welcome Dr. Schultz. You have the mic right there. Go ahead. All yours.
Thank you. How's the sound in the back?
No, it's up.
That was the test. How's the sound in the back? Better. Okay, good. And please, at any time, if the sound's not premium, just raise your hand and I'll make an adjustment. Good morning. It is so great to be here at Fullerton College this morning. I want to begin by thanking you for being on hand in person and also for colleagues who weren't able to join us on hand, but I understand there's a link. So we have colleagues via video feed, and I'm just really appreciative of you investing the time to be with us here today. I want to tell you a little bit about myself as we begin the conversation today. I was born in San Jose, California, Northern California, and grew up in my early years in the Central Valley near Clovis and Fresno, and by age 5, my family settled into the city of Orange. And that's where I had my K through 8 education in downtown Orange and went to high school in Orange. And here at Fullerton College, we began our 102nd year of instruction and student support this year. Well, during Fullerton College's 72nd year of instruction and student services, I'll let you do the math, I enrolled here as a freshman in the fall of 1986. And I thought that I was going to be a commercial musician, a drummer. Turns out that wasn't my calling, but I still like music. However, along my time here, something really magical and special happened in the 300 building, in the 2000 building, and places all around this campus, is that others, the faculty and the staff of Fullerton College and my fellow students, provided support to me and helped me see things in myself that I hadn't seen previously, and it gave me an incredible opportunity to grow and to complete an associate's degree and transfer to Cal State University Fullerton. And so after trying, kind of test driving a few different majors, I was on the 2nd floor of the 300 building and something just clicked. And I loved accounting. I loved accounting. So I was an accounting major. I transferred to Cal State University Fullerton. There I completed a bachelor's degree in business administration accounting. And I met someone along the way, another Hornet, and that's Denise Schultz, my wife. So she had also transferred from Fullerton College to Cal State Fullerton. We met there. And just the start that Fullerton College gave to me, it's what community colleges do in this state. It gives us a great opportunity to explore and to learn, to transfer to a 4-year university With the bachelor's degree I got, I began a career of service for the County of Orange, working for the Auditor Controller. That's the accounting agency of the county. And along the way, I got an opportunity to work for a certified public accounting firm, or CPA firm. And what that firm did was specialize in working with school districts. So that gave me a great opportunity to visit dozens and dozens of K-12 school districts and different community colleges and get a sense of how different community colleges work and are managed. And accounting was great. It was a great career. And in 2000, I got an opportunity to look into a job here at the North Orange County Community College District in the School of Continuing Education. And I applied, and I was fortunate to be offered that job. And that job was the manager of administrative services. And essentially, that was fiscal, administrative, and budget support for the School of Continuing Education. And from that day in April, I loved it every day. And it had nothing to do with Microsoft Excel, pivot tables, reports, or spreadsheets. It had everything to do with a friend I met named Andrea Assembly Smith and other staff and teachers at Yorba Linda. And I got to see magic happen every day. Every day. I got to see students gain new opportunities. You know, going through our first graduation there, I thought, I'm in. So that's when I transitioned from an accountant, or CPA as I think of it, to an educator. And just to give you a sense of what I've been fortunate to do since then, I served as a manager of administrative services for the School of Continuing Education. I went back to school, and I became a dean of instruction and student services at the School of Continuing Education. I later got an opportunity to serve as a dean at Long Beach City College on the credit side of career technical education at the Pacific Coast campus at Long Beach City College. Absolutely loved it. And in 2012, looked into an opportunity to come back home to the North Orange County Community College District to serve as provost, which is similar to president. It's the leadership position of the School of Continuing Education in our district, and have proudly served as provost until last summer when I was invited to the opportunity to serve this college as interim president. So I'll just briefly, I know we've got other questions, I want to give you a sense of my educational background. I did mention that I went to Fullerton College here. I'm a proud graduate in business, and I completed my bachelor's degree at Cal State Fullerton. As I worked full-time, I enrolled in a master's program at Cal State University Long Beach and achieved a master's in public administration degree. Along that time, when I was working at the accounting firm, I got my CPA license. And then finally, after coming to the community college district, I enrolled at the University of Southern California and completed a doctorate degree in education. And my area of study for my dissertation was on first-generation college students and things that impact their student success, specifically their study behavior in groups or individually, and also their course load.
Thank you. So now I have two questions. I'm going to start with the first one. Describe your leadership style and identify 3 fundamental principles that reflect how you get things done in today's challenging environment. How would you inspire others to follow you?
Okay, my leadership style. Okay. I get 3 words? Okay. To begin with, I would describe my leadership style as welcoming and inclusive. One of the things that I believe that I've learned is working as part of a team, and when I've been blessed to lead teams and a college, is that it's very meaningful to be part of a team, to have input, and to be able to share ideas related to the work that you do, to possibly impact the work that you're doing. So I've always, as a team member, appreciated the opportunity to share with my colleagues and maybe someone I worked for, to share input into ideas. What that means for me here, and in my administrative and leadership experience, is creating a planning system and opportunities to welcome ideas. So that comes in the formal sense of, do we have a planning structure with committees that include a wide variety of constituents? So on the campus, that would be, our faculty, our classified, our students, and our administrative team, but also what other opportunities can we create to just invite ideas and feedback. And so, for example, here, what I've enjoyed doing is we have president office hours, and so throughout the semester, throughout the year, we invite any students, faculty, staff to come in and just share ideas, let me know how it's going. Another thing that we do as a practice that I'm proud of is we have President's Open Forums, and so that's an opportunity that helps create safe space, I believe, to exchange ideas, to share feedback on something that's really, really exciting, to share feedback on something that's maybe not going as well as it could be from someone's perspective. And so I think it's really, really important as colleagues and certainly as a leader to create space where people can freely share ideas that help inform and make the institution strong. Another characteristic, I don't know if it's a traditional leadership characteristic, but it is for me, and that is being student-centered. So, you know, we're blessed to be at a community college. One of the most, well, the most important thing we do at the college is learning. So everything should lend itself to the support of learning. For me, being a student-centered leader and leaders means there's certain things we do. We all have different responsibilities. You know, as a president, some of the things that I do are I have leadership responsibilities for committees, and I chair committees. I interact with district colleagues. I get the opportunity to be in community, and so those are all things that are a part of the president's job. And also, every day, as I walk to my car to my office and throughout the campus, my other job is meeting every student I can and learning what brought them to Fullerton College. What are they about to do next? And then listening, how can I help them do what they're about to do next? It's something that I admire about this college, and that I feel it's important as a president or someone in the role of president to lead that example. So to me, that shows up in terms of, you know, as we all work together formally in the classroom and meetings and things like this, I feel it's important to promote a campus that's very welcoming to students, and that when students come here, they feel like everyone's in their court. Like no matter what it is that they're about to do, they feel like every staff member, administrator, student, peer is with them, is rooting for them.
Thank you. You have a bottle of water over there if you need it.
Thank you.
Question number 2. Please describe one or two specific strategies you initiated or facilitated to improve student success. How did you measure the results?
Okay. I'd like to tell you about one in particular. In a former role I had when I served as Dean of Trades, Industrial, and Career Technologies at Long Beach City College, one of the things that I had the wonderful opportunity to do is participate in the early stages of the Long Beach College Promise, which is an initiative you may or may not know that it involves very close intentional work between Long Beach City College, the community college, Long Beach Unified School District, and Cal State University Long Beach. And so in my role as Dean of Trades, Industrial, and Career Technologies, I had the opportunity to work closely with the department faculty and some of the staff and our colleagues at Long Beach Unified to have discussions around different career paths that were available at Long Beach City College in the career tech ed area, and how curriculum and programs at the high school mapped up and matched to it. So that involved the development of articulation agreements. It involved dual enrollment activities, which we hadn't had at the college. We actually started working with students at Jordan High School, which is in North Long Beach, and Cabrillo High School in North Long Beach, and offering dualistic courses. And I think that's great. But to me, it was much, much more than that. Those things are important, and I was really appreciative of the work that the faculty and staff did in the school. But in addition to that, to me, it was meaningful to those kids to be with them. So I thoroughly enjoyed the opportunity to go see the Panthers at Jordan High School and to visit Cabrillo High School and to listen and say, you know, I'm a face of Long Beach City College. How's high school going? What do you think you want to do next? And I remember an example where Jordan High School, their freshmen learned up the street at what they call Jordan Freshman Academy. And so I got invited to do sort of a career day with one of our faculty members and just talk about the great CTE programs at Long Beach City College. So we brought our brochures, right, and things that we have at the college, and just got to meet in front of a great class of about 40 students. And at Jordan High School, about 36 of those 40 students did not look like me. Most of those students, if not all, mom or dad didn't go to college. And so we started with a great conversation, and there were questions, and they said, what sort of programs do you have at Long Beach City College? And so I said, well, let me tell you about a few. I've got a brochure here. We have automotive technology and horticulture and architecture and engineering. And someone raised their hand and said, well, what can you do with that degree? So I started sharing with my colleague, well, you could go into this career path or that. And then the next question was, how much money can you make? I said, well, that's a good question. And so I said, can I use the dry erase board? And the teacher at Jordan High said, sure, go ahead. So I started writing on there, you know, approximately, and with an associate's degree, you know, $14 to $17 an hour. And someone interrupted, not rude, they just said, how much do you make? I said, do I make? Do I make as dean? They said, yeah, how much do you make as dean? I said, I'll tell you, but do we have about 15 minutes? And the teacher said, yeah, go ahead. So I'll tell you right after I tell you the story of Greg Schultz. And so then what I did was I got on the dry erase board and I said, and I won't tell you the whole story. We don't have the time. But just to tell you a little bit about it, I said, the story of Greg Schultz is I went to high school in Orange, and I worked at McDonald's by the Orange Mall. It was a good part-time job, and I was working towards my high school diploma. And I made $3.35 an hour, so I wrote $3.35. So we started graphing it out. And then I said, and then I graduated, and I went to Fullerton College, and it was a great job. And, you know, they promoted me to part-time shift manager, so I made like $5.85 an hour. You know, and some eyes are glazing over a little bit. And so I'm like, oh, you doubled your salary. So I talked about how as I earned my associate's degree, it opened a door where I could work at a savings and loan and then a bank, and I could make $7 an hour. And how when I completed my associate's degree and then transferred to Cal State Fullerton, I got a job for Burlington Air Express, and I was making $8.85 an hour. And then I literally charted out as I got my bachelor's degree and my master's degree, you know, how much they paid me an hour as a manager of administrative services, and literally how much in dollars and cents I made as a dean. And they were like, whoa. I said, so here's the thing. I'd like to think not everybody wants to be dean, but if you did, I'd like to think that you could take the classes that I took and go to the schools that I went to, and you get to be dean. But sometimes that's not the case. But I want you to know I'm here to help you make it that case. And so if you want to be a dean, a lot of what's helped me is not just my education, but there were folks who looked out for me. They answered my questions. They were willing to help me out. They knew stuff that I wanted to know. I said, that's one thing I've learned as dean. If someone has a question for me, I like to share how I got to where I'm at. And so I said, as students, there's things that you know, even as a sophomore or a freshman. Be kind, share with others what you've learned, and look for adults who are willing to share information with you. They are very willing to share information with you. So just to kind of bring it back to the original question, I had the incredible privilege of working with a team of faculty and staff to implement a number of initiatives and programs related to Long Beach College Promise, and how we measured it was we were able to track the number of students from Jordan and Cabrillo High School who enrolled at Long Beach City College, who completed units, completed associate's degrees, etc. And certainly, like other college students, we were paying close attention to what are their success rates, what are their completion rates, etc.
Thank you. Now it's time for question from the audience. So step up and come over here to the mic. Okay.
Okay. Good morning.
Good morning.
We had a little mic trouble this morning, so I was the mic guinea pig. I'm Jennifer Combs, the Fullerton College Curriculum Chair, as you know, and I'm curious, as college president, what is your role in curriculum?
Thank you, Jennifer. The question is, what is my role in the curriculum?
Correct.
Okay. As president, it's been my experience and how I see my role as it relates to curriculum as one of support and, if needed, guidance. But really, our faculty are the lead in terms of our curriculum development and review. We've got, as you know, an incredible curriculum committee that's charged with the structure and process that then feeds curriculum from the college to the district level and onto the state chancellor's office. As president, I think it's important that I'm there, like other areas of the college, to be a fierce advocate for what our students need. And curriculum's a big part of that. And so as we work together and I listen and look for opportunities to support curriculum development and the creation of new programs or strengthening existing programs, what I would look to do is both within the district and beyond that, what I could do in my role as president to strengthen and support the execution of curriculum. Just to give you a specific example, in my former role in the School of Continuing Education, I had the distinct honor and pleasure of leading SCE, but also a team doing a pretty difficult time. As we all know, during 2010 to 2013, it was rough waters. And I came back to SCE around 2012, and at that time, the Proposition 30 had not passed yet. And so we were going through pretty significant discussions about what if it doesn't pass, like the college here, what would the fiscal impact be? Then the following January, even though the proposition passed, the governor at the time proposed significant changes to the budget, which, if implemented, would have had millions of dollars of negative impact to the district and specifically SCE. And so what we did is we said we respectfully don't accept that. We organized and worked through the district and got on a plane and went to the Capitol and shared ideas. And we just didn't say, we don't like it. We said, we heard your idea. We don't think it's the best idea. Here's some other ideas. And the way I'm connecting this to curriculum is, in a situation where the governor had proposed to cut a significant amount of funding to programs like the ones that exist in our district, we actually created an environment where they had a better understanding of the value those programs bring. The idea to cut was taken off the table, and a new idea emerged in a couple of ways. One, to create new funding that hadn't existed before in the form of an adult ed block grant, and then also to strengthen the amount of funding that the state had traditionally paid to CDCP, which is a category of non-credit, such that as of today, statewide, it's now funded at the credit level. So in short, I think the role of president, and the way I view it, is one of strong support and advocacy and looking and listening for opportunities to help our experts across the campus do things well.
Thank you.
Morning, Dr. Schultz.
Morning.
My name is Brian Crooks. I teach PE here and assistant football coach. And before I ask my question, I just want to thank you for your great leadership so far this year with being a president, and your administration has been very refreshing to have an administration that backs this whole campus and wants the best for Fullerton College. And it makes me want to actually teach harder and coach harder and know that I have an administration backing me like you do, so I appreciate that. My overall question is, what is your perspective on physical education and athletics, and what role do you think it plays in education?
Thank you, Brian. Well, thank you for the nice things that you said about our college and the team that's here. I appreciate that. In terms of my view on athletics and physical education, one of the things that I view it as is it's one of the many great areas of career focus and areas of concentration to study for students. It's an incredibly rich option for students to choose. And in addition to that, we're really, really fortunate here at Fullerton College to have opportunities, no matter what a student wants to major in, for our women and men student athletes to, in the experience of college, to participate in a team environment, to compete with other community colleges. It does so many things to enrich their experience, even if they're a science major, accounting major, or any others. One of the things as a parent who has kids who are involved in extracurricular activities and athletics, is I think it really helps develop a sense of perseverance. As a community college student and any student, I think one of the number one things that connects to success is ability and desire to succeed, persistence. And one of the things about being in an athletics environment that I've observed and enjoyed is everything doesn't go your way every day. Some days are wonderful, some days are not as good as that. But in the process, there's a lot of learning that occurs, and coaches in that setting often are in a great place to show our women and men students who they can be. And they see things in our students that the students didn't necessarily see in themselves. So one of the things that we've experienced is student athletes who learn at the community college and have goals to transfer have really, really strong success rates. So there's something about the athletics, the support that's provided to students that helps them succeed that I think it can be applicable in other parts of the college. But even though there's a lot of other really good innovative things happening at the college, but I think athletics is a really important part of our history at Fullerton College here for sure. And even today, it provides a great opportunity for students to grow and learn as they pursue their academic and professional careers. Welcome.
Good morning, Dr. Schultz. My name is Banusha Armani. I'm a counseling faculty, and I also appreciate your leadership. I think you've done a lot for our campus, and we'll be lucky to get to keep you. How do you view counseling faculty's role on campus-wide committees and as part of shared governance process?
Thank you. Thank you for your question. So how do I view their role on campus committees and campus-wide governance? They have an important role in that. And in my experience, mostly how we, our system at Fullerton College is often for our faculty who are appointed, counselors and classroom faculty are appointed through our academic senate. And what I've come to notice is we certainly have representation from across the divisions, including counseling at the faculty senate. Certainly it's very, very important. Counseling is a great example, but with any example, to have space and structures that invite ideas and planning from different points of view. We don't want, even though I mentioned I used to be an accountant, now I'm an educator, we wouldn't want only accountants or only certain category of experts at the table making all the decisions and recommendations. We're much better off when we have rich discussion and invite and have a variety of points of view throughout planning. And I'll just say something else. This is maybe more personal, but I mentioned that I'm a proud Hornet. I don't know if I said proud, but I am. And so the thing is, my first semester here, I wasn't on the president's list. It's true. I was on, if there was an opposite of the president's list, I was probably on that list my first year. That's just my story. And somehow along the way, along changing my major 3 times and then getting serious about what it means to be college ready and college successful, I got a friendly kick in the pants or a hug or everything in between from counselors right across the street who saw things in me that I didn't see in myself. So that point of view is very, very important to me. There's many folks on our campus that I think are in a position to be what I call a game changer, and our counselors are definitely among them because they are in an opportunity. We have one-on-one space, or sometimes a classroom space, and they can really make that connection and help each of our students believe that they can do it. And I'm just one of 100,000 who's lived that example. So thank you. I'd be happy to take another question.
Good morning, Dr. Schultz.
Good morning.
I'm Sharon Kelly. As you know, I'm the Classified Senate President here at Fullerton College. And I'm asking you a question that I've asked all candidates. But I do want to, first of all, thank you for your support of Classified so far since you've been here. Thank you for your support for Classified Staff Development Day. Whatever you said to managers has made a huge difference because we have record-breaking numbers coming for Classified Staff Development Day coming on Monday. But there's another part to this that we need your help on. I talk with my hands. Classified are hard workers here, and sometimes because of their hard work, they're too busy to be involved in shared governance, to be on shared governance committees. In a survey that we conducted last year, Classified stated that either they didn't have time or that their supervisors didn't support them in participating on shared governance committees. So as college president, what would you do to encourage Classified participating in shared governance committees?
Thank you, Sharon. The first thing I do is lead by example. I don't know that I've met a manager who doesn't want our classified staff to participate. What we're working through often is out of a shared value and interest in having more of a classified staff participate. How can we do that and then also address the very important work that is done by classified? So when I say lead by example, that means in my neighborhood, so to speak, in the 100 building, I get to work with Melinda and Itzia. So if they want to go to an activity, we're talking about how can we get them there? What can we do as a team? Sometimes that might mean working with our neighboring department, but I think there's a lot of things that we can do together to allow those opportunities. I'm going to say thank you to you also, because when you're talking about next week, that's really a reflection of the exciting opportunity that you've created along with the Classified Senate exec team to have this exciting opportunity next week. And I think that's also another really good example of what we can try to promote really strong involvement of classified. Next week is what? It's spring break, meaning our students' classes don't meet. Right? We have a lot of folks, faculty, staff, and administrators who are on campus and working, doing different things that week. But what a strategic time if our goal is to really enhance or strengthen classified staff opportunity, is to look for those opportunities where, well, it's always busy around here, but it's a little less busy that week. And so I really applaud kind of zeroing in on those dates that hopefully, and I think we're seeing this, can really enhance classified participation. And I just would say, if I'm honored to serve as president into the future, that's one of the things that I know we'll continue to do, and I'd like to continue to do, is work together to identify, okay, given the challenges of our timelines and the busy times of year, what can we do? It really kind of working together to get towards yes, rather than focus on why that won't work or why this won't work. I think there's a lot we can do when we're working together, thinking about how can we get to yes. Thank you for your question.
Good morning.
Morning.
Feels weird to introduce myself, but Jean Costello, English faculty and staff development coordinator. I'm taking the third stab at this question that I've been asking everyone. It's been revised. Writing teacher, All right. As a president, how can you contribute to campus efforts to build a more equitable institution where educators effectively collaborate with each other to support successful outcomes for all student populations?
Okay. So when I hear, thank you, that's a good question. How I hear the question is, what can I and we do to promote and strengthen a culture of equity certainly focused on outcomes. One of the things that we can do is take advantage of this incredible opportunity we have right now in our system, where there's been an uptick in the investment of funds focused on student support and student equity. There's a lot of innovation going on right now, and it's created a number of examples. I think what we can do is take that, and it's a great time for innovation. Not everything that we try will work. Everything we try will be with good intention, but we'll be in a position to look at the things that seem to have the most impact, and then through conversation and planning, we can determine how can we do the things that tend to work the best a little bit more, and begin to institutionalize those things. And then for those things that we thought would work but maybe didn't work as well as we thought, that's okay. We just may not do them as much in the future. Another thing when I think about what we can do and what I'd like us to do is more and more of, there's a couple great examples that come to mind immediately this year is, I've not been in a place, and I gave you an example from Long Beach City College, and I'm really proud of the work that I got to be a part of with great faculty and staff at Long Beach City College. And yet I've not been at a place where the momentum we have right now as we work with our colleagues at Anaheim Union, Placentia Yorba Linda, Brea Olinda, Fullerton Joint Union, there is a lot of momentum right now. And we're seeing it in terms of students who enroll right after high school at Fullerton College. Our number one feeder school, you'd think it's Fullerton High School, and it almost is, but it's actually Anaheim High School. Anaheim High School. So programs we have been able to start, like last summer, with support of student equity, such as that summer bridge program that we had, where students got a taste of college before they enrolled. Things like the Moss Conference. I think there's so many of our faculty and staff right now and administrators who are plugged into, this isn't about our school working with that school. We're one system. It just so happens that currently the name at the top of the check is from a different school district, but this is a great opportunity to work as one system to help our cities and our students achieve at higher and higher rates. So that's something that as president, certainly, I'm very, very invested in. Currently right now, the opportunity to work with Superintendent Matsuda and Domeni and Mason and Superintendent Scambray, it's a great opportunity. And really, this opportunity has been put in place due to great work that our faculty and staff are doing with those districts. And I see it continuing. And that's going to be a key, I think, in terms of our future success with equity. Good morning.
Good morning, Dr. Schultz. As you know, my name is Alan Brantley. I'm a student here. I just want to say it's been a real honor and a privilege to get to know you over these past 2 semesters, either seeing you in the hallway or the office hours, or even receiving an unsolicited email from you. It's quite an honor and a privilege. It's clear from my own personal experience that you have made student success a priority. I'm interested to know, why is it that you value the interpersonal relationships that you work so hard to develop with students? What is it that makes that so important to you, and how do you feel that that ties into student success? Thank you.
Thank you. Well, that's a great question. 2-parter. I guess what I'd say about it is, number 1, it's the right thing to do. Number 2, it's fun. I can't imagine having more fun. Sometimes, this may surprise you, but sometimes the wonderful folks and team I get to work with will send me a text and say, hey, where are you? So I'm walking around this wonderful campus making student connections and connecting with faculty and staff. But maybe a little joking aside, it is the right thing to do. I have a different experience than lots of our students. Some of our students have a similar experience to me. But in my experience, when I think of what clicked for me, why did it click for me, I can think of women and men and individuals and teachers who essentially were game changers. Like, had it not been for my interaction with them and how they inspired me, would I be doing what I'm doing today, or would I have had success along the way in the way that I have? I believe very, very strongly that it's each of us. We all have different important roles to do at the college, and we do them well. But among those things, it's on us, and very, very important, to make every single student feel like they're the exceptional scholar that they're destined to be. I think if we were able to have every one of our 24,600 students feel that way, this place is amazing. There is no place like this to learn. And I'm lucky, as I said, I tend to walk around some days more than others. And when I do, I look around every corner of this great institution, and I see stuff all the time. So that brings up another point. It's really, really important to me that we acknowledge, notice, and celebrate the great things that happen in different ways. I think when we do, one, it's a reminder for us of what's most important. Number two, it's inspiring to our students, and they don't know half the time. I hear that they're inspired. Oh my gosh, you inspire us all the time. It makes coming to work here like the best place to work. So, in a nutshell, I just think that's the way to be. I think it's the right thing to do, and it's a lot of fun. Thanks for your question.
Good morning, Dr. Schultz. What's your experience with veterans, working with veterans, and how do you plan on utilizing that experience to make the college experience a lot more enhanced for veterans here at Fullerton College?
Thank you. Thank you, sir. And you're a veteran?
Yes.
So thank you. Thank you for your service, first of all. Thank you. A part of how I've learned about the incredible service that veterans have lent to our country and served us is my brother. My brother is in the Army National Guard. He served in Iraq and Afghanistan on different tours. And so in a very personal way, I learned what that meant, and I'm indebted to him. And for you and our men and women who've served in our nation's military, we owe you a lot, and we're proud of you. What we can do here, I've been really excited to see our Veterans Resource Center and the counseling and staff support that our veterans receive. We would hope in the future, we're going to be doing a lot of building, to take what has been a center that has evolved and continue to modernize it. And a part of that is, you know, as president, I don't have all the answers. I'd like to, but I know that I don't. And so what I aim to do is to be one of the best listeners that has ever been here, and really kind of hear what you think and what our staff thinks about how it's going, what works well, what we might improve on. And then another thing I just want to say about our veteran students is, as much as I hope we can serve you well, you offer so much to our peers, to our students who may not be veterans. You know, the leadership that you've gained is really, really valuable. I don't know that you think about that very much, but I want you to know that many of us admire that, and we appreciate whenever you can kind of share your experience with other students here. But certainly what we hope to do is to learn, for veterans, for example, how is it that our services, you know, not just the physical space, but the services available throughout the campus, do they work or not work so well? And what is it about it that works? And I'm committed to being kind of the best listener and advocate that I can for veterans and for all of our students. Thank you for your question.
Thank you, Dr. Schultz. Now you have 2 minutes for closing remarks.
2 minutes. Okay. Thank you, Dr. Nunez. Wow. So let me just say thank you again so much for this opportunity with my colleagues this morning. It is an honor to be considered for the role of president of this great college. I mentioned that I went to school here, and my wife also attended Fullerton College. So I think for many of us who did go to school here, that's kind of special. You know, my mother started going to college in San Jose and stopped and had me and raised me, and so did not complete college until about 3 decades later, when as an adult and mother of 5, she enrolled here at Fullerton College and completed her associate's degree. So that's just 2 or 3 stories about the hundreds and thousands of students who have benefited from Fullerton College. But it shows you that we welcome all students right out of high school, returning adults, and I've just personally admired and just really want to acknowledge you for the work that you've done to make this college such a great place to learn. Having the opportunity to work with you during the past 8 months has been an absolute privilege, like anyone would. I love coming to work here every day. This is a special place to learn, and I would love the opportunity to continue working with you into the future. And I have no doubt that whoever it is will have a great president that will lead this great place into the future. There's a lot of exciting opportunities related to facilities modernization. I think the one that I'm most excited about is to build on what are some really great traditions that this college has and the culture of this college, and to work together to develop new traditions, such as Fullerton College, right, at Angel Stadium, but many other rich traditions at this fine college. So I'll just say thank you so much for the opportunity today, but also just for pouring your heart and soul into student learning and the support of our students at Fullerton College. And I thank you again for listening and for this opportunity.
Thank you so much.